Hello? Hey, Nino, how's it going? You're the only one here right now. Oh, oh. Hey, Nino, how's it going? Can you hear me? I don't know if you're trying to connect your mic. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Your mic's not working. I see. Well, you're the only one here today. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can type it down in the chat here and I can answer because, yeah, you're the only one. So it's going to be just like a one-on-one consultation, I guess. Are you, do you have any questions? Are you typing it down or? Hmm. The clicks are decreasing. Yeah. I would need more information. I'm gonna check Michal's message again to recall what he said. Yeah, he said you're getting a lot of impressions, but the clicks are low. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. It's just ranking fluctuation. Uh, if if your rankings are in the first page and it fluctuates between like three, four, and five, yeah, the impressions are going to be the same because it's all on the first page, meaning that whether you're three or five, the impressions will be the same because you're going to show up on the first page, but the clicks are going to vary a lot. I think position three has like 8% CTR, and position five has like 1%. So there's a big difference if your rankings are fluctuating from between like three and five. So the key there would be to just continue doing the SEO tasks until you can really lock in the top three spots. It's a really common thing. I don't think even it's an issue. It's just you just need to keep going. Who is iPhone? Who is this? And iPhone, do you have any questions? If your mic is not working, you can also type them in the chat, just like me know. Yep, there you go. Questions. How do you determine how many blog posts your competitors are publishing each month? Change, but you don't see what tool you use. Hmm. We don't actually use a tool. I mean, you can use a tool, but the best way is to subscribe to your competitor's RSS feed, and it'll tell you every time what do you call this? They publish a piece of content. Okay. And then where do I buy my domains for backlink outreach? I buy them on Namecheap, and I usually use like similar domains, and I make sure that they redirect to my main domain. So for example, my main website 607.media. I buy 607media.com, 607media.org, 607mediacompany.com, 607mediacorp.com, and I use those as my outreach domains, and I redirect them all to the main one because a lot of people actually, like for example, they'll check the sending domain, and to be safe, they check whatever the domain is. And if it doesn't redirect to your main domain, they'll think it's shady. So you want to make sure that it redirects to your main domain. No, you can add two links. Two links seems to be the sweet spot. One to the homepage, one to the target page, but it isn't necessary. One link is good enough. Two links, the increment is very small, but it can help, but it's not necessary. But yeah, you can do two, one to the home page, one to the target page, usually. How do you subscribe to a competitor's RSS feed? I haven't done this in a while, so I would have to ask ChatGPT. I would ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, so I don't remember the process. Mm, in ChatGPT right now. Yeah. Um, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can ask ChatGPT. I'm gonna copy paste what ChatGPT said. There you go. No, no, no. I wouldn't forward the email to my main email. I mean, just redirect the domain. Like if you have the domain 607media.com, you'd want to make sure that if they went and searched for that website, it redirects to your main website, just so they know it's safe and and so they know that it's legit, that you're actually from that company because you wouldn't be able to redirect it. I mean, yeah, you would actually, but yeah, a lot of people check uh, to be safe. Have you used quoted since Haro has been discontinued? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They shut down. We use what do we use now? We use quoted. It's a reactive PR still works really well because a lot of people gave up when Haro shut down and when um, connectively shut down. But you can use quoted and a bunch of other alternatives. I'm trying to check where those alternatives are. I have a list somewhere. Hmm. I have a list somewhere. I can't seem to find it. But yeah, let me. I'll share that list with you when I find it. But yeah, there are a bunch of other Haro alternatives that work really well, and a lot of people still use reactive PR. Actually, I see we've been optimizing our website from changing the meta tags and meta descriptions and adding auto attributes. How many months should well, Nino, depends, like if those are the only issues, then maybe you'll see results soon. But you need to build backlinks usually, and publish more content, and because meta titles, meta descriptions, like those don't really affect SEO. Like meta titles and meta descriptions affect the click-through rate on the SERP more, and that's how it, helps SEO. But when it comes to what really moves the needle, it's going to be like the on-page optimizations, like the actual content on the site, whether that's product descriptions, collection descriptions, and backlinks, right? The meta titles, meta descriptions, and alt attributes very small in terms of ranking factors. Any more questions? While you guys are thinking of questions, maybe I can look for the Harrow alternatives. What can I suggest in writing blog posts? Well, number one, it's always good to make sure that you have the same, I mean, like at least the same blog post as your competitors, just so that they're not beating you there, and making sure that you're answering the same questions your competitors are your competitors are answering. Again, the goal when it comes to content is topical authority. So answering as many of your customers or users' queries as possible and giving the best answer, like not just a shallow answer, so a complete comprehensive answer. And yeah, answering all their questions. Is 1,500 a month an okay budget for link building? How do you assess that you're paying a fair price for a link? Yeah, so 1,500, it really depends, right? Because the number of links you have to buy um, is dependent on your competition and the link gap between you and your competition. But 1,500 is usually more than enough. It's definitely usually more than enough for link building. Whether you're paying a fair price for a link, that is super tricky because you need to have like a benchmark for a certain like for link qualities, right? I'll send over how much we usually pay for links, but then again, it really varies based on price. But I will show you the range that we usually pay for a link. Give me one sec, I'll pull it up. Link building. Where is it? Um, the, um, where is it? Here. Okay, here are our ranges for fair price. And depending, like, this is depending on, what do you call this? This depends on where you get it. Obviously, if you're buying from a vendor, it'll be more expensive. Um, but this is usually how much we pay if we're dealing with the website owner. And again, this is just a range because it can vary depending on the quality of the link. So this is just average. Another 30. That's how much we pay for link inserts, and for guest posts, we just pay a bit more. Great. Piece where we don't take care of the guest post. Actually, it's the same price, except we write the guest post ourselves. GP. That's the range you can expect if you're doing the outreach yourself. Yeah, if you're doing the outreach yourself, if you're writing the content for the guest posts from a vendor, expect to pay probably $30 to $50 more than that. Um, and if you're doing the outreach and you can negotiate well, you can expect to pay less than that. With an average, I think that's a good price. And these are just like the average links. It's a link insert on a really good page. It's going to be much more expensive. And that's where like experience comes in with how much you need to pay for a link. But usually, if it's a quality link, you'll get an ROI on that link when that page starts ranking. And then let me look for those quoted um, arrow alternatives for you. Mm, yeah, here are two more. Help a B2B writer and feature.com. There should be a lot more though, but these are the ones I can find right now. Yeah, we have one staff member dedicated to just doing reactive PR like this. So it's still really good. We have any more questions? Nino? iPhone, who are you, by the way? I still don't know who you are, but you're asking really good questions. Okay. Do you write the blog posts yourself, or do you use either AI or something like Surfer, Koala Writer? So we actually use Surfer to help with the content briefs and help to set it up like yeah, the briefs usually. But we use human written content, um, and then we use AI to refine it. We still have humans write the content, and the reason behind that is we've been testing it a lot to make sure, and we tried to use like AI written and then human refined, but and we stack the content next to each other, and human written and then edited with AI was still better, uh, on, based on our tests. And until it's otherwise, we still gonna keep doing it this way. Um, in keyword research, what are your points that you should be looking into? So in keyword research, the first thing is we always look for competitors, what keywords they rank for, using like Ahrefs or SEMrush. We plug their competitors into those tools, and we find the smallest ones first. And we always try to target those keywords first, because if, like, for example, you find a competitor that's like a DR5 and you're a DR10, um, there's no reason you can't rank for those keywords that they're ranking for. So those are the ones we prioritize. And then we look for the next step. Like, oh, is there another DR12 competitor or a DR15 competitor? Let's take their keywords, then plug them in and prioritize those. Um, that's usually how we do keyword research, especially in the beginning of a campaign. Find those low-hanging fruit that weaker websites or, yeah, weaker competition is ranking for. Humanizer. I am not familiar with Humanizer. Uh, I'm not sure what that is. I'm guessing it's like a content tool. Let's check. Humanizer AI. Humanize your AI text. No, because we use human content and then we refine it with AI. The way we do it is, yeah, we set up the content briefs with Surfer, and then also just human also help set up the content briefs based on the keywords we want to target. And then we have a human write it, and then a human then runs it through ChatGPT to refine it. we basically have ChatGPT rate the piece of content based on a bunch of metrics from 1 to 10. And then we look at the ones like the metrics that it's weakest in. Like for example, I think we have one metric that is like experiential or something like that. And if it like ranks low on that, like it's a 7 out of 10, we ask ChatGPT, okay, like how do we make this a 10 out of 10? And it usually gives you good suggestions or advice on how to improve that piece of content based on that metric. And we just keep doing that until, well, it's hard to get 10 out of 10, but until we're satisfied, basically. Keyword should appear in the content, right? How many times should it be seen in the content? Yeah, again, this depends. Keyword density is becoming less and less important, and user experience is becoming more and more important. So when it comes to how many times it should be in the content, um, I would use a tool like Surfer as a guide, but I wouldn't try to get it perfect on Surfer anymore, if it hurts user experience, because user experience is becoming more and more important than keyword density. Like keyword density was important years ago, but user experience is more and more important now. So like images, graphs, anything that helps humans consume the content more. But yeah, the keyword should still appear in your content. Like if your main target keyword should be in the three kings, the H1 URL and title tag, and it can be sprinkled around in the content naturally. Like you can use synonyms. The search engine's really good at recognizing synonyms now. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't stuff or do it unnaturally, only if it makes sense. How long does it usually take to research and write one blog post? Hmm, I am not sure. If I were to guess, if it was 2,000 to 3,000 words, I would say 7 hours. Just because our writers basically do like one blog post a day and they do like five a week and they're around 2,000 to 3,000 words. So I would guess like 7 hours. What would the length of a blog post that is SEO friendly? Again, this is dependent on what's currently ranking, usually. Um, I would Google your target keyword and see the lengths of the blog posts that are ranking already. And this is really important because you want your blog posts to be just as long as it needs to be. If it's too long, it might not help. Like the search engine will see the user not basically read the whole piece of content. And if it's too short, then it might be too short, right? Like, but the best guide is always what's ranking. The search engine is always showing you what it likes, right? And if a 500 word blog post is what's ranking for the in the top three, right? Like the top three sites have 500 word blog posts, you want to do 500 word blog posts as well. Like 10 years ago, there's this thing where you want to do more. Like, oh, what's ranking is 500 words. You want to do 600. And then so I'll do 700. It's not the case anymore. Um, Word count is just as much as it needs to be. And it's usually whatever's ranking is usually the best guide to how long it needs to be. Yeah, that's the same with the product description. Mhm. Um, But there are times where sites with like really short product descriptions are ranking, and you can make yours a little longer because you're providing more useful information. I mean, like, don't be scared to provide useful information. Like, there are some really good product pages where there's a lot of like imagery below the product images, like like a pros and cons table, this versus the competitors tables or graphs or images, things like that. Those are already useful. And again, like the goal is user experience these days. That's the most important thing now. So it's if anything's helpful for the user, yeah, I would definitely include it. Any more questions? Do you incorporate schema and structured data when fixing the technical errors on a website? Hmm. I'm not sure what this question means. Do I incorporate? I mean, like schema and structured data is always important, and you should have it on every page on your site, whether it's a product page, collection page, blog post, even your homepage, about page should have like a organization schema. So yeah, you should have schema on every page on your site. I would argue that schema and structured data is more important than fixing like alt tags, like alt image tags. So I would like prioritize that over those. Yeah, so for products, usually the base code in most Shopify themes is enough. And I think we show in the training which ones that we look for or which ones are the most important ones. And just make sure those are there. Those are included. And if they're not included, then you'll want to add them. Yeah, the product page schemas are the most important because you want to take up as much SERP real estate as possible, like with the stars and the shipping and the price and all that. Yeah. And even like homepage schema helps take up even more real estate too. So if you can incorporate like your about page and things like that, it would be good. Do you guys have any more questions? Still have like 25 minutes on this call. Is there a way to increase likelihood your blog is featured in a featured snippet? Yeah, there are a bunch of ways to test it out. Um, but it always depends on what the featured snippet is, right? Like if it's a list, you'll want to see how the competitor did their list, right? Like whether it's like bullet points or they use like the actual like uh like li tags, right? Or if it's a table, the best way is always to check how they did it and re-engineer how they did it. If the SERP has no featured snippet, then it's probably you probably can't get it. So yeah, the best way is to look at SERPs with featured snippets, existing featured snippets, and see how they got the featured snippet and do the same thing. If you have more authority than them and you have like the same setup, like again, like doing the list or a table or whatever it is, you should be able to take this snippet from them. It's all about like the formatting of whatever the featured snippet is. How do you fix the 4xx and 5xx issue on GSE? Well, it depends on what's causing it, right? Um, like you have to check what's causing it. Like the 4xx, like is it a 404 issue? If it's a 404 issue, then it might be because there's an internal link that goes to a 404 page, like a page that doesn't exist anymore. Um, yeah, it really depends on what's causing the issue. I can't say for sure. You will probably just want to audit that. And, if the issue is actually fixed, like it will eventually go away. Like if it's a non-issue. Oh, okay, let me see. What issue is this? Is this a 404 page? Or ah, yeah, like all these, yeah, like that's the problem with Shopify. Like it creates a lot of these issues. These are non-issues in my opinion. I would just ignore these and and it's probably fine. As long as you have like, you have what do you call that? the uh, you disallow the crawling of these links on your robots.txt, it's fine. That's the best you can do. But Shopify creates a lot of these links. There's not much you can do about it. Can you share again how to disallow these types of things to be crawled? It's in the technical SEO training. Um, you basically just what do you call this? Um, Edit your robots.txt to disallow these links. For these specific links, yeah, it's best to ask ChatGPT. Just plug this link in, and how do I create a disallow? Like, what line do I put in my robots.txt to disallow these links to be safe, right? Do you have any more questions? Sure. Do you use any services for digital PR? No, we don't use any digital PR services because they're so expensive. Um, we've been trying to do digital PR ourselves, and it's not easy. We might actually give up on doing digital PR and stick to mostly reactive PR, like the Haro type, and guest posts and link insertions. And then like yeah, like the other link building types where it's like link exchanges or creating linkable assets, things like that, or more creative link building strategies because digital PR is difficult. Digital PR agencies are super expensive and it's becoming more and more competitive. Like we try to do it in-house and we didn't get a good result. That's why we were coming up with the training for the digital PR, but we didn't want to release it if we couldn't do it ourselves, right? Like we tried to do it ourselves and we didn't get a good result, and we didn't want to release that training if if it wasn't any good, just waste everyone's time. Uh, but okay, we'll continue answering your question. Press release campaign to announce the brand. Okay, this type of digital PR. Yeah, this type of digital PR is fine as well. It won't move the needle much, but it's good. It still it helps with brand awareness. Uh, if you do that, the article will be the same on all websites. Yes, it would be the same. Would that hurt your domain authority? No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt your domain authority. It's fine. But those links will not be that powerful. Um, but they're still useful to have, though. But it's like a different type of digital PR, right? The digital PR I was referring to earlier was the one where you get on like well, okay. For link exchanges, do you usually do a one-to-one or do you try to incorporate two or three websites? Yeah. They're more effective. They're not straight one-to-one, the same website to the same website. You can even do one-to-one, but it's like uh another one of your websites, well, depending on how many websites you have, right? Another one of your websites to their site, and then their site to yours. Uh, it's just better if it's not, going the same direction. What some people have been doing a lot recently, where they basically have like they trade a guest post for a link to their site. Like, oh, I have a link. Like, for example, you've done outreach and you know that a certain website sells a guest post. You can sell this guest post or exchange this guest post for a link on a site. People have been doing this type of outreach strategy recently and it seems to work pretty well. They're saying like, oh, I can get you a link on this site if you give me a link on your site, but you don't actually own this site. You just know that this site offers guest posts because you've outreached to them previously, and you can do a link exchange and you can pay the site like what, $80 for the guest post, and they give you this link for free, and they basically swap the links like that. Yeah. Do you contact the websites directly? Yeah, we contact the websites directly. I don't know if you even really know of any exchange services. You mean that you do a guest post on a third site but link it to the second site? No, I mean like so example, you want to do a link exchange with site A, like you're B, and you wanted a link from A. Instead of exchanging a link from B to A for a link from A to B, you basically contact the site that you've already guest posted on previously and say, oh, I can get you a link on this site, and exchange a link from C to A for the link that you want to your site from A to B. If that makes sense. It's really hard to to show this with my hands. Maybe I should share my screen. Give me 1 second. Let me get the Miro board open. Okay. Yeah, freehand. Okay. You guys can see my screen, right? So a normal link exchange is like A and B, right? So I get a link to my site from yours in exchange for a link from your site, from my site to yours. Right? That's like the basic link exchange. There's also forms of link exchange where it's like, oh, I have another site, let's say site C. I still own this site, but instead of me giving you a link from my main site to your site, I can give you a link from another site in my portfolio for a link to my site. And then there's another one where it's like a third site that you do not own at all, but you know that they offer guest posts because you got a guest post from the site to your main site, or maybe another site in your portfolio before. So you know that they sell guest posts for, let's say, $80, right? And you still want that link from A. You can be like, oh, I can get you a link from D because you can pay $80 for it in exchange for a link from A to your main site. And sometimes this is helpful because like if you ask them for their price, sometimes they say, oh, it's $150. And then you realize, oh, what if we do a link exchange? And you pay this site 80 instead of paying them 150. And you essentially get this link for 150 by paying for this $80 link from this site. I hope that makes sense. Um, I can't see the chat while I'm sharing my screen. Mm, yeah, there you go. I can see the chat now. Yeah, I hope that made sense. Okay, cool. It's a blog post of yours or a collection page? It really depends. It could be any, either. The way we decide whether to build to a collection page or a blog post is just we prioritize building to collection pages first until it looks unnatural, right? Like, for example, you're A and you have a collection page, and then you have a competitor who has a collection page. And your collection page, he has 5 links on his page, and you have 3. Like, this quality backlink. You kind of want to match the 5, right? So you want to build 2 more. You can even build 3 more and have 6, but you don't want to build 10. No, you don't want to build 10 because then it's kind of shady, right? Like why does this one only have 5 and this one has 10? Is it natural? So sometimes we build like maybe like if our competitor has 5, we build like 7. That seems fine, but we don't want to go too hard. So we start building to like blog posts instead and internally link the blog posts to the collection page. And then the backlinks are here, right? Like this has one backlink, this has one backlink, this has another backlink. And essentially what this does is, number one, you can rank these blog posts because now they have backlinks and the link juice flows to your collection page. So basically, um, not only do you have more backlinks to your collection, but you're getting more juice to your collection through the blog posts, right? So there's no doubt that you should be outranking this guy with 5 backlinks, even if he did have like other blog posts with backlinks as well, linking to that collection. Because yeah, it matters. Like the link juice from the blog posts matter a lot. Like there are situations where like the collection page was stuck until we built backlinks to the collection, the supporting blog content. Example of a type of article or link going to a blog post versus hmm, like a type of a guest post. You mean a type of guest post? Okay. Um, hmm. It really doesn't matter as long as it's relevant. It could either be going to the blog post or collection page because yeah, in the end, it doesn't matter as long as it's relevant. Because like you can write about anything like for a guest post. Like it might not even be super relevant to your products, but you can find a way to internally link it still to either a collection or a blog post. Like yeah. I mean obviously the closer, like the more related it is to the target page, the better. But yeah, like if it's a blog post versus collection, you can pretty much use the same type of article, to be honest. Uh, bottom, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Yeah. Again, if it's middle of funnel or bottom of funnel, it should still be applicable to either both the guest post and the blog post and the collection page. And I don't think you need to overthink this. The good anchor text, again, you wanna be careful with the exact match. If you don't want to use too much exact match, we typically save the exact match for the best backlink. Like if we were planning to build like 5 blog posts, um, we basically look at the best one. Like for example, this is the best one. This is where we use the exact match, and we only use it once. So we kind of save it actually, because exact match anchors, like if you have more than one, like if you have 3, it already doesn't look good. You're already risking. It's already too risky. So you really want to diversify your anchor text. We like using a lot of branded anchors. Seems to be the most natural. branded URL, partial, misc, and then like just one exact when you really need it, if you found like a really good link. Do you have any more questions? Mhm. Mhm. I think you cut before for me. What kind of digital video doesn't work anymore? It's not that it doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't move the needle much. Like when you're doing it like for like the cheap digital PR from like the sites that do it for like a few bucks each. Like it's just those sites don't send much link juice anymore. Like MSN type of sites. I don't even know the type of sites anymore. But yeah, if it's a cheap digital PR service, just assume it's gonna be like a press release. Um, I think that's the difference. Uh, like the meaning of PR, right? I think digital PR, like the ones like the expensive services are like yeah, they're different types of links. I don't know how to explain it. Um, digital PR. Yeah. So digital PR usually means public relations, digital public relations, while press releases are different. Press releases are usually on like high DR sites, but they don't send much juice because they're selling all these press releases for nothing. Like digital PR would get you like links from like Forbes and things like that. The press release will get you links from like I think like MSN or sites like this where it won't move the needle. Do you have any more questions? Awesome. Nina has no more questions. iPhone. I still don't know who you are, iPhone. All right. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hopping on. Uh, thanks for taking the time. I hope you guys have a good day. Have a good night. Cheers. Thanks, guys.